Hey, volleyball fans. We're previewing the volleyball playoffs here in San Diego County, and we are on to Division One. So let's talk about Division One. Let's look at the bracket real quick, Davis. And as we look at the bracket, we want to talk a little bit about seeding like we did with the other podcast. We talked about division playoffs. So we look at the seedings here, and Point Loma got the 1 seed. Is that who we thought was going to get the 1 here in Division One, or are we kind of surprised by that?
I'm a bit surprised by that just because Santa Fe has been in a bit of a tougher league this year. But Point Loma has got a lot of weapons. They're deserving of a high seed, but I thought that was a little high for what we thought. Besides
Point Loma, what are the other seeds that are kind of like, maybe they got hosed a little bit, or maybe they're ranked a little too high? For me, the two that stick out are San Diego and Scripps with the 9 and the 5. I think they both should have been higher. What do you think?
I definitely agree with the San Diego. And I'm actually surprised by Scripps. I thought Scripps was going to get like the 2 or maybe even the 1 seed. But yeah, Scripps isn't seeded as high as I thought, and neither is San Diego. They were in the top 10 for a while there, and they're definitely really tough teams, and they'll prove that on the road to the playoffs.
As we look at the first round before we dive into our final 4, what is like the top matchup you're looking at, and who got a tough draw?
You know, there's a lot of tough draws, actually. I feel like Division One is probably the most evenly balanced in terms of everyone can beat everyone. So it's going to be about who can be consistent. The 8-9 matchup is, I think, going to be really interesting. OLP doesn't necessarily have the record, but they played in a competitive schedule. I think that would be a really interesting matchup. I'm also really intrigued to see the Parker Del Norte matchup because Parker knocked off the 1 seed last year in CIF, and they're playing a good Del Norte team. But if they keep that same sort of giant breaker attitude, I think they could knock them off early.
For me, it's the West Hills Carlsbad matchup, and I know it's pretty safe to pick the 8-9 or 7-10 matchup. In this case, the 7-10, but Carlsbad is a team that has played in the North County in tough leagues, and their record is not very good. But West Hills is a team that played fairly well in a kind of weaker league. They had their trouble with Helix, but that to me is a game that could to go either way. But that's why you got a 10 and a 7 playing, and if you're Carlsbad, you're like, man, we got a tough. I think Carlsbad got a tough draw. So let's break it down. Let's go to our final 4, the semifinals. So for me, I got San Diego coming out of the top region, so that means they beat Point Loma, the number 1 seed. I have them in. I have Scripps Ranch in. I think that the 9 seed San Diego and the 5 seed Scripps show us why they deserve to be ranked higher, or seeded higher rather. And then in the lower part of the bracket, I got Otay Ranch pulling it out, beating Eastlake to make it to the semis, and then I got Santa Fe Christian beating West Hills to make it to the semis. That's my top 4. What do you got?
I got Point Loma, I got Scripps, I got Eastlake, and I got Santa Fe Christian. And I would be really excited to see that Scripps Ranch Point Loma match. They've played each other twice. Each has won one game, and I think that would be intense.
Okay, let's real quick. Let's give us your picks for the championship game out of your top 4. So your top 4 was Point Loma and Scripps. That's 1 game, and then Eastlake, Santa Fe Christian. Let's go with the Point Loma Scripps. No, you know what? I'm going to hold that one because there's been so many good matchups with that one. Let's go with the one that hasn't happened yet with Eastlake and Santa Fe Christian. What do you think out of this game?
I'm going to go with Santa Fe Christian, but with that said, they play such different styles. I'd really be interested to see how this one plays out. Eastlake is physical, really tough serving team. Santa Fe Christian's more defensive-minded. I'm still going to go with Santa Fe just because of the coach and because I think she's got their mindset exactly where it should be.
Point Loma, Scripps Ranch. 3rd time meeting, right? 3rd time meeting. It's a split series, 1-1. Who gets the overall series and the chance to play for a Division I title?
I'm going to go with Point Loma. Point Loma, when they're motivated and when they have all their weapons running, they're really, really tough to beat. And I think when they start to smell that they could win a CIF championship, I think their mindset will be just right, and I think they'll have a little bit too much for Scripps.
Well, we saw that last year, right? With Point Loma losing early in the playoffs and then rallying back and made it all the way to the finals of the state championship game. So that's a good pick for you. For me, I got San Diego beating Scripps Ranch. I think they're a solid team, and although they played a tough schedule and didn't necessarily beat the top teams, they were able to take care of business against schools that, weren't up to their caliber. So in this case, I think San Diego is better than Scripps. So I'm going to take San Diego in the final, and then I got Santa Fe Christian also in the final. Championship, I gotta go with Santa Fe Christian.
I think Santa Fe's got a ton of weapons. They're very disciplined. They've been playing better and better as the season went on. Point Loma's been a little bit injury prone. That's why I got to go with Santa Fe Christian.
So the rules for Division I are a little bit different than the Open Division when it comes to state. Davis, you want to explain to us how that works, and then give us a couple teams that you think could make a scare or make some noise in the state playoffs.
Yeah, in Division I, the top 4 teams, the teams that make it to the semifinals, all get to go to state in one of the divisions. When the division they go to is based on school size and those types of factors. However, last year, Point Loma made it to the quarterfinals and got to go to state because of another open team being ranked really high in the state. So with that said, if you can get to the quarterfinals, you have a chance to go to state. If you get to the top 4, you're guaranteed to go to state, and you might have a chance to win it because you're going into a different division. With that said, Point Loma might have a great chance to go. Last year, they went in Division 5. This year, who knows what division they'll go in. And then Santa Fe has won a bunch of state championships in the past in those lower divisions, the D3, D4, and I think they would have a great chance to go all the way in state too.
For me, I think Santa Fe Christian's got the best shot. If I had to pick another team, it'd probably be San Diego, just because I had them beating Point Loma, and the only thing you worry about with San Diego is depth. So if their depth holds up, I think they can make some noise, if you will, in the Division I or in the state playoffs, wherever division they get seated. So that is our Division I preview. For more information or for any more previews that you'd like to see when it comes to any divisions here in San Diego County, be sure to check out the Twitter page, our YouTube page, and Instagram, as well as our website where we have all those posted. For Davis Ransom, I'm Braden Zaprenit. We'll see you guys next time.